Hey folks, Valentin the Mad here. I'm currently working on 2 other videos, but every once in a while something comes out I have to discuss now. It can't wait. And today, that is actual fluid simulation. In bloody GMOD, of all things. And as you may have seen in the demonstration, it's actually good. So what we have here is 3 components. GWater 2 by Metric, which is the foundation, the fluid simulation itself. Then we have GBlood 2.0 by GalaxyHighMarshal, Nyarkus42 and Brother 2007, which makes the fluid simulation activate and work as a response to damage on the NPCs. And last is Galaxy's blood preset for GWater 2 to make the fluid look and behave like blood. So let's see how it all comes together. Alright, so the first feature here is activating the fluid simulation as a response for the initial impact. And as you can see at the counter here at the top now, pretty much this, and we have some from the exit wound as well, this is 1000 particles. That is because, as you can see, those very tiny droplets, that is the smallest particle size for the blood preset. So 1000 of those constitute this kind of a response. So that is pretty much what the initial impacts look like. Of course, it's gonna be different every single time because those are simulated. And of course the big one, the very big one here is the puddles, which are just absolutely glorious. As you can see, the particle count is rising quite hugely. You'll be having a lot of those. And yeah guys, simulated fluid physics, which is pretty insane. Yeah, I think it's the first time I'm seeing a thing like this be actually functional, and yeah, I am aware of course of the Killing Floor 2 physics, of the what else? Yeah, I also had it in Borderlands 2. I haven't played it, but I know it's basically same thing and we have it there. But yeah, but here we actually have it pretty damn functional and it looks quite impressive. As you can see. Gonna be once again upping that by quite a lot. Do wonder if it's gonna interact with the chair. It should. Oh well, never mind, but as you can see, it does very much interact with the chair. In the end, as you can see, it is just a fluid simulation. And there is one more way to push it much further. Once again, every single one of those particles, 114,000 and something, is physically simulated, which is just insane. And as you can see, it, at least in my configuration, it runs decently well. When every single one is and remains simulated. That's kind of insane. We should have some... yeah, we do have some splattering into here as well. I think this is the furthest one, I believe. Might have a few tiny droplets there. But yeah, as you can see. I mean, you know, with the regular techniques you can get pretty results, but this is pretty amazing stuff, because I want you to get to be right there. Okay, yeah, that should be good. This should be interesting. So it will interact with some objects. We'll probably showcase it in the... you'll probably see it as a part of the limitations here. But you do have it interacting with some of the objects. as you can see. Can we have it overflow? Yes, it is overflowing. Yes, yes, here we go. Yes, yes. Yeah, that's just awesome. And we've made a bit of a mess. And it's gonna be quite a cleanup. You know, I do kinda have to. Feel compelled. And yeah, you know, strawberry jam all over the place. Pretty much. So the results you can get to the puddling, as you've probably seen in the demonstration, are quite amazing. Staircases are particularly fun. Really, any kind of like interesting surface will lead to interesting results. So a character on a table, a character on a staircase, on slopes. Speaking of slopes, in the next level, in the next showcase, it's gonna be pretty awesome. So yeah, so just not many games that all have a thing like this, and we actually wanna see. Alright, yeah, so here we have the first limitations, so some surfaces it's just gonna ignore and go through, which is a shame, so I did try filling a bath for the demonstration video, and at least the one I tried, it just kind of like fell right through. But here you can see it just drips and splats after the dripping all over the place, which is really cool. Yeah, just thousands of particles being simulated. And every single one remains responsive until the limit that your PC can handle. So for me it's like the 3080 or so, it's the limit my PC can handle. Beyond that it just lags like crazy. When it gets close to it, it begins lagging, so I'm gonna put my PC through a torture test. But up until that level, you know, everyone with their configuration, it is pretty much what is more or less reasonable on my PC. In the end, if you feel the need for more blood, you can just shoot the character some more, and it's actually one of the issues, we'll get to it a little bit later. But for the purposes of showcasing and just messing around with it, it is pretty awesome. As you can see, it's just gonna be dripping, and you just have yourself a puddle simulate, wherever it goes. And here we are getting to the 300,000 particle limit, and yeah, let's see how badly it's gonna lag after an 8 here. You know, not too badly, and pretty cool patterns actually, yeah. Not bad at all. Alright, now before we get a little bit more into the fluid simulation ASMR, you actually have to do a few configs every time you load a new map, so you do want Galaxy's Blood preset, because if you just have it untouched, might as well showcase, why the hell not. You will have just the regular GWater preset. You have the character. turn, you know, this turn this fountain into an actual fountain. Yeah, like so, from a, you know, just shader effects to actual fluid simulation fountain, which is a little bit overflowing. So as you can see, the it's a feature of the GWater mod itself. It is highly configurable, so that is the close to 38,000 particles in the regular just water simulation. And to respond to the player, I think if you fill an area with it, you can actually even swim in it, I believe. So yeah, so if you don't want to just have your character shoot huge amounts of water, do have presets, and I think it might even... yeah, it should have turned every single one of those into a blood particle. I'm not really seeing it here, but... not sure, so... anyway, I will have the... you know, there's the old preset by Galaxy and there is a new preset. So I will have it posted in the description. So you copy that, you go to import, paste here, and there you go, you have yourself the GBlood 2.0 preset by Galaxy. And once again, performance, I do up it to about 380,000 or so, which seems to work reasonably well on my machine. Once again, pretty amazing stuff, but I do actually wanna get her to bleed on that table, if I can, so oh yeah, just to look at that. I mean, I know we do have some cool blood effects in games, but with a fluid simulation, it's just a whole new level. Oh no, yeah, it seems to just go right through this table, yeah, so that is one of the limitations, not the mod's fault whatsoever. Some surfaces just gonna go right through them. So when I was trying to film for the showcase, I had a few like characters land in cool positions, in really fun locations, and then I see, it just goes right through. It is what it is. And there should be quite a lot of bleeding right now because of another limitation of the mod. So basically, well, I was gonna get to them a little bit later, but since we are on it, so basically, you will have, I think, every single one aside from the first shot you hit the character is gonna be forming a blood pool. So if you have like a kill in 1, 2, 3 hits, it's gonna be perfectly fine, but if you do shoot the character some more, which, for example, you play Half-Life, if you wanna like try this mod with Half-Life, good luck. You're gonna have to play a lot of the configs to get something more or less reasonable. It is possible, but you basically have a separate pool for almost every single shot. It's pretty great for showcase, but you know, if you actually wanna play it, if you actually wanna play Half-Life with it, it is gonna give you a bit of a hard time. You've seen probably in a demonstration, but I will showcase anyway. It's kinda hilarious, but you know what's gonna be happening now. And yeah, just just a human blood bag, basically. And yeah, we are getting the particle count near the limit I set it, and I can already see it kind of lagging. That is a lot of particles. And I mean, you know, the thing I'm kind of wondering is, will my PC crash if I do this? Apparently not, so legitimately I never tried shooting a huge pile of blood when I'm near the top of my particle count when it's already glitched and lagging. So to my amazement, yeah, we don't have my PC crash, I'm still here talking to you. And once again, like, when you realize all of those are just tiny, tiny droplets, like that one right there, and you have like 369,000 of them simulated at any given moment. That is just pretty insane. Just absolutely glorious stuff. Yes, so this should be kind of interesting. Let's see. You gotta make it overflow, so here we go, yeah. Once again, this kind of result is just see, can I get it to overflow within my reasonable particle limit? Let's see. Can I get it to overflow? Oh, it is glitching. It is glitching, yep. But we do have it overflow, yes. Once again, this stuff is just kind of amazing. Now, since we have all the blood concentrated there, look at that. Just look at that. Alright, yes, so can't help but be absolutely amazed by this. As for what I was basically originally intending, so I wanna see if the surface is gonna work. Does the bench work? Does the bench work? Oh no, no it doesn't. Do I have to at least do one more like that, so just for a little bit more of that blood ASMR, basically. And yeah, it is surprisingly relaxing. As I was saying, because of the issue of the multiple puddles per character, it really isn't too functional in actual gameplay unless you heavily tweak the mod to just have each wound produce a small amount of puddling. I suppose it's possible, but you won't really have like the impactful puddles for just a one-hit kill. So for me personally, it isn't all too useful in gameplay. Not as if you have a great deal of gameplay in GMOD, at least in single player. But for just a basically ASMR purposes, it's kind of like just cool seeing fluid simulation. And I think it is done very, very well here. Doesn't seem to respond to her actually, huh? That's interesting. Yeah, so if I walk through it, it's fine. If there's a ragdoll through it, it won't work. Alright, so as for the configs, if you just wanna see like what are my configs, to get those kinds of results. So utilities, there is a feature of an auto cleaner. Of course I don't use it, but might as well just showcase for you. So just so she don't fly away. Here we go, we are beginning to see the auto clean option, and it is depressing. Why would you use it, basically? You know, just do your thing, mess the characters up, and just manually clean up. So there is such an option. I find it kind of depressing. I always just have it disabled. As for generals, so for example, if you just try here, as you can see, like I think this is the minimal and maximum particles for the impact. So for example, it's even lower by default. So if we shoot here, now, yeah, I'll still get 1000. Could be because of something here. Yeah, just doesn't seem to make a huge difference between this and, let's say. Yeah, so if you double click it, you can pretty much put it whatever you want, but doesn't seem to do a huge difference whatsoever, because initially, you know, when I was just getting familiar with it, I would get with the vanilla configs just very underwhelming results, and basically something out of all of those configs make it essentially deliver a 1000 particles per impact. So that's how we get more or less notable results, and very notable results if you shoot a character up against the wall, might as well. And very notable results when he begins just putting blood all over the place. Don't want to just showcase the initial impact somewhere. And yeah, that is the initial impact. Many thousands of particles. And here we are getting to the hundreds of thousands of particles. Right, so those are pretty much the configs for the initial impacts, and here we have for the puddles. Right, so the put duration is how long it's gonna last, so might as well push it up to the end. Just in the demonstration I had it in 20, but I suppose if you just want to make a little bit more of a blood ASMR, might as well have the puddles last for a little bit longer. Where should be a good spot? Where should be a good spot? I think here should be a very nice spot. Right, lady, be my showcase. Great, 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 great. Alright, yeah, so as you can see, it's just amazing stuff, like a whole new level. Not something I am used to whatsoever. Yeah, like it's gonna take a while before we actually see it in games. Anything like this, anything like this. But it does feel to me like we are one step closer. Because this is by far, I think, of all fluid simulation in a 3D environment, I think this is the best I saw. Like, hands down. Nothing remotely gets close. I basically just want the blood to overflow here and go down into this little balcony. We can do it, even without moving her. Yeah, just look at that, it's... And it sticks to the walls and it puddles up on the ground. Drips down the walls, look at that, it's absolutely amazing. I'm trying not to swear, I'm trying to generally minimize the swearing on the channel, but... Just look at that. Come on, come on. We can trip it, we can trip it. Come on. And be just a little bit more aggressive with this. And I think all the trip is going into that direction. Yes, so there is no avoiding of moving her. Here we go, here we go. But yeah, it's just really hard to emphasize enough how hugely impressed I am by these results. Then, you know, there are many things I can possibly nitpick to, but why? First, I'm really seeing something as good as this in a 3D environment. Look at that, just to this small droplet simulation of this whole thing. And then we had a whole bunch drip into here, and this thing is just absolutely gloriously insane. Oh, and I think that I should mention is actually you do want to, in the NPC configs, you do want to keep corpses on, because apparently if it's off you just won't have the blood pool activate. Just a thing I do have to mention. Alright, now as to some of the issues and limitations, so once again, as I was saying, with some surfaces it just goes right through them. It is a game thing, I'm not sure why, what, why or how, but it is what it is, just one of the limitations it has. You can't bloody up this couch or a whole bunch of other surfaces, for example cars. Might as well showcase a car. The ones I tried in the other CS maps are just not very blood friendly. Haven't tried this one specifically, but I imagine it's probably the same here, but yep. Just goes right through it. So that is one limitation. Once again, nothing to do with the mod, just something about how the game is configured. A second one, so you have seen, like, when you have a whole bunch of blood around, the response for explosives is glorious, but if you just shoot a character with explosives, there's right now literally nothing, like, not a single droplet spawned, like, so I shoot him now and here we go, yeah. We just now have the particle count beginning, so nothing if you just shoot a character with explosives. And the last one, as I was saying, so for just about anything other than a perhaps the first shot, you basically have a blood pool activate for every single hole you puncture on the character. So great for a showcase, absolutely great for a showcase. But if you wanna use it in actual gameplay, yeah, it's gonna give you some issues. And here you are, just mag dumped one character and we are at the particle limit I have this time around, and yeah, so once again I kinda feel compelled. Once again, just it doesn't get old. even if you don't manage to configure it to find a gameplay purpose to the fluid simulation, to the blood simulation, you have quite a few hours of just messing around and playing around with it. Which provide a good bit of entertainment. I'm not sure if you can put fire out using the, for example, if I make him bleed on the fire. Not sure it's gonna put it out. But yeah, just amazing stuff. So, as I was saying, I mentioned that if you go into the blood pool settings and you kind of like tweak perhaps the interval, the multiplier, I'm not sure. Perhaps if you tweak things here, you might be able to get to something that will enable you a reasonable fluid simulation in a in an actual game where you kill characters with multiple shots. But yeah, the one big issue perhaps with this mod is that you have a blood pool for every single shot and not just one blood pool per character. Alright, so just to make a final one to finish this video up, just one more for the end of it, for the blood simulation ASMR. Oh no, come on, get on the counter, get on the counter. You know, we do have the art stand, we do have cute animals on the art stand. One thing we probably won't have is bleeding bodies. That I can pretty much guarantee. In conclusion, are we getting closer to blood simulation being an actual feature in games? I think we might. Probably not for initial impacts, as we saw here, but as a start for blood trails, for puddling, in perhaps a game with a small amount of enemies, or where you go from area to area, with, once again, a relatively small amount of enemies in each one. Yeah, I can see it happening. So that is exciting, great job by everyone here, and I do recommend checking this one out, even if most of what you can do is just messing around. That is it for this video. Do let me know how you feel in the comment section, and subscribe, lots more to come. Until next time.